Hello, everybody, and welcome to Raising Vibrations. And you're with Simon today. And I'm excited to be doing the next month's forecast for everyone. And just basically going to be sharing some of my thoughts and perspective on the upcoming transits and just giving us a little bit more heads up in terms of what to look out for, how to integrate, and just basically navigate the energy that's coming our way in a way that's less bumpy than what it would be if we were a little bit more unconscious to it. Now, before I go ahead and jump into that, there's a couple of things that I just want to share quickly. Firstly, in the comments below, I really would like it for you to share a little bit about how your last month was, okay? And just kind of, I'm always excited to read the types of experiences that you might have had during your transit. And just an overall, if you feel like if you would like to share, it's not something you have to absolutely do, but I'm always excited to just hear what you guys have to say in terms of your own experience, and maybe it gives a sense of objectivity around how your own transits were occurring, okay? Another thing that I wanted to talk about was after doing the first series of forecasts, a lot of souls wrote to me, a lot of people wrote to me, whether in the comments or private email, etc., just asking, should I watch the rising sign? Now, I know suggest that. I would say that would also complicate things as well. So if you're really sensitive to your psyche and you really are aware of the dynamics that are taking place for you, then watching your rising sign, so in my case, it's Aquarius, I would watch Aquarius and I would watch Scorpio, right? Sun sign Scorpio, rising sign Aquarius. And then finally, I just wanted to let everybody know on the 8th of January 2017, yes, that is the new year for us who are following the Gregorian calendar, I'm having a webinar, okay? And in the description below is a link to book your place. And the webinar is basically a forecast for the year ahead. And I'll be hosting that for anybody that wishes to join. And just basically talking about the year ahead, looking at the types of dynamics that are going to be taking place, certain transits, etc. And there'll be a questions and answers after that as well. So I'm really excited to be holding that space, and I'm going to put a lot of effort into creating a very nice visual experience for you. So if you want to experience that, like I said, in the description below is a link, and you can go ahead and book your place, okay? All right, everyone. So with that being said, let's jump straight into our sun sign videos and have fun. Hello, my Pisces friends, and welcome to the sun sign forecast for 2017 January. Hope you're well. Today, we're going to be looking at the overall patterning that's going to be taking place for you for January, and just kind of sharing my thoughts with you, as I mentioned in the introduction. So we're going to start off with looking at the charts that was cast on the 2nd of January. This is what it looks like. And for you, the constellation and your solar sun transit is situated in your solar 11th house, okay? When the sun transits the constellation Capricorn, it lands in your 11th house, the Pisces 11th house energy pattern, okay? And so for you, that brings into focus, into highlight, into attention, all the psychological and emotional dynamics of friends, associations, groups. Who do I belong to that validates me? Who do I belong to that reveals to me who my creative expression is, okay? And these are the types of questions that come up during this period of time for you to review, analyze, and ask yourself the question, does this pattern of thinking, emotional connection still support my best and highest interest, okay? So with the 11th house, you'll notice that types of things that could occur for you are feeling as if friend dynamics can't support you anymore. And you're going to have to, like I said, ask the question, does that feel right for me? Okay. Now, Mercury is, and at the moment, is in the Capricorn constellation. All right, as you can see over there. And Venus is also in the 29th degree of Aquarius. Okay. So if we go over to the 3rd and 4th of January, as you can see, Venus now moves into Pisces, which is your first house, your solar first house. And on the 5th of January, Mercury enters Sagittarius, okay? Now, what's really significant about these two switches is that Mercury moves into the same constellation as Saturn and will move into the same solar house as Saturn as well, bringing up all of the dynamics regarding what life direction you are wanting to have. So there's a lot of questions, very serious, very contemplative questions for you around how do you wish to be defined in the world, right? How do you wish to pursue your dreams? How do you wish to pursue your ambitions, and what drives you to go out in the world and exactly that, like crystallize your emotional reality? So this is very much a time where you might find yourself in situations where job opportunities, limitations are around that area. You'll be blocked probably. And Mercury moving into that part of that constellation says, okay, how is your thinking and what type of friends group and what are your current associations supporting this process, right? That would be the question that would arise naturally for me when I see that type of symbolism. And so a big part of that story is finding out what naturally activates your highest good, and then beginning to, as I say, plant the soil and put the tree into the soil and begin nurturing that new evolutionary direction. Okay, with Saturn transiting your solar 10th, it can be very, very difficult to feel like you can have purpose and meaning if you're in a place that Saturn's blocking and saying no longer is this going to be supportive anymore. Okay, so that's a big deal, and Mercury's going to be asking these questions for you. Now, with Venus transiting into your first house, your solar first house, it's going to be connecting with Mars, which has of course been there for quite some time. And a lot of the questions that come out of these symbolisms, especially Mars and Venus, are connecting the more transpersonal planets, which are the South Node, Neptune and Chiron. They're all situated in this first house. So this is very much about how does the Pisces constellation define themselves, right? What direction do you want to go in life? And this can play out in two ways. This can play out as the anxiety of separation from something that you know that leads to limitation, or it can be the frustration that asks the question, what is the new direction that I choose to have? And how is that being inspired by a new pursuit, a new sense of adventure, right? Both of them are really, really tricky to work with because they still require emotional security, okay? So you'll notice that this month will very much be about how am I investing in the excitement of my new direction, right? That's how I see it, at least. Now, as we move over into the sort of like latter part of the first part of January, I want to see something over here. Uranus and the moon are making a connection, and the sun and Pluto are making a connection, which is a really big deal. And on the 8th of January, Mercury goes direct. Okay, as you can see there, it goes stationary and then it's going to go direct. And all of the things that are going to take place on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of January are all going to play out through a deep either confrontation or limitation, and then through that insight. And that insight will develop a new way of how you're going to follow through with this overall arcing pattern, which is, what is your story? What is your life direction? What is the meaning of your pursuit of happiness, right? These are these big questions. So a lot of insight's going to come through in this part of the January, and that's going to then set the tone for the 12th of January, which of course is going to be the full moon taking place in Cancer. Now, actually on the 8th of January, I'm having a webinar, and that will talk about the forecast for 2017. So if you're interested in looking ahead in terms of that, you can sign up for that, and in the description below is a link for that, okay? And that goes in hand with the insights that are naturally manifesting from Mercury direct. Now, those insights that are manifesting then, this new moon, the full moon, is going to really, really, really say, okay, there needs to be a change, right? I want to change. So you've got 22 degrees Cancer, right? 20 degrees Aries, 22 degrees Sun Capricorn, and then you've got the 22 degree Jupiter in Libra. So Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Capricorn are all cardinal signs, and they all reflect initiation of change, implying and creating the focus. So the insights are here. Now the focus is there in terms of which direction to look at. And then as that happens, Mercury then goes goes into Capricorn. And that's when the whole entire shift from this sort of what was December about, what was the early parts of January about, coming into more of a clarity, coming more into a focus point, okay? And that kind of energy pattern is going to begin to really initiate this desire to want to move forward with things, all right? And if we move over to the 19th of January, which is when the sun enters Aquarius, you'll start to notice that there's some really interesting synchronicities that take place again. Literally just the day before the sun enters Aquarius, the moon hits Jupiter, which initiates again this deep like story of Pluto square Jupiter, right? Which is that need for expectations being broken. It's going to create a tension pattern. And then when the sun enters Aquarius on the 19th, 20th of January, the whole entire January element is going to light up. And that was going from restriction to liberation. So as the sun enters Aquarius, we begin that focus of, okay, I've got to find this new direction. I've got to start beginning to see my vision, right? Aquarius is all about vision as well, right? What is the purpose of my existence? How do I validate my creative self-expression, right? So that being said, the sun will then enter your 12th house of your astrological chart, your solar 12th house, which will bring out of focus the whole friendship group dynamic, and it will bring into focus this more sort of resting, wanting to relax a little bit more, go into yourself, become more of a hermit, and just kind of spend some time deeply reflecting upon what the early part of January was like. And you'll probably experience this for at least until the 19th of February, when the sun enters your first house, and you'll be well relaxed. So this is very much a time from the 19th of January onwards to get all cozied up and just chilled out and relaxed and do the things that you love, and just kind of, manage your stuff, but don't overextend yourself during this period of time. Okay. So that takes place. And then just before we have a new moon on the 27th, 28th of January, we've got this beautiful connection of the Mercury, Pluto, and the sun hitting this place. And as that connection takes place, it creates the necessary evolutionary and emotional patterning that forces us to then plant the seeds in the new moon in Aquarius for this new direction, okay, for this new experience. And for you guys, it's really about letting go of an old self-identity that no longer works for you anymore, that doesn't bring you joy. And it's really just about following your dreams. And that's probably as blunt as I could put it. It's really about following your dreams and finding out what is the most aspiring thing you could do in your existence, and kind of really nurturing that idea in a very big way. So we have a new moon that takes place on the 27th, 28th, and we also have Mars enter Aries, which is going to be in your solar second house. So as this new moon takes place, it initiates the seeds for the new direction, and Mars entering Aries will then initiate the sense of what are your values, what are your resources, right? What do you have to offer in this sense? So that's for February, but for now, that's what's going to be taking place for you guys. I hope you had a fantastic sort of January month, and don't forget the webinar that's taking place on the 8th of January, okay? Other than that, have a fantastic week, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.